All right. Happy hour has gone to the dogs.
Oh, literally.
Literally.
You can't do it.
I hope you guys can join us. We've got Westwood on the other side of this. Make sure you grab something red to remember everyone deployed. We've got Nana joining us. Cannon, did you want to say something?
I'm wearing his shirt.
You got Westwood's shirt on. That's thanks to who?
Polly
P.
Polly P.
Polly P. We love Polly P.
Yeah.
So join us. It's a wild. There's dragons everywhere. It's a big dragon win weekend.
Dragon Win weekend. That's right.
Dragons are slaying this weekend. Slaying the bad guys. All right, you guys grab something to drink and your pup, I guess. I don't know. We'll see you on the other side with Clint Westwood right after this. Oh, Lord.
A little background noise.
Neighbors have started revving their engines, so I apologize.
Oh, no.
I thought this would be peaceful, nice.
It might. They might be.
It might be. I don't know.
That's one of the most beautiful pictures I've ever seen. Look at this, two lovely ladies and cute little dog and the beautiful background. Man.
Say
What
hi.
two dogs. Where's the third?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom. Kaya did it.
Look out. Goodness.
Oh, damn.
It's just a little wet.
What a way to ring out a Friday.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, it's fine. We're celebrating. You're not having any fun unless you're getting a little on you.
There you go.
That's what I always say.
We're celebrating a big win for Dragon Chain. Cheers. The Dragon slayed the SEC.
Yes.
Cheers.
Great news.
It was super great news. Big win.
That is great.
To Joe Rhodes and everybody over at Dragon Chain. That was awesome to hear. There's a whole announcement that we'll read through later, but I did tweet it out and people are talking about it. It's a big win for freedom. That is one of America's blockchains is Dragon Chain, and it's confirmed with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, I believe. They use all three of those to do the confirmations. It was one of the first ideas for original community notes. They have a great, it's like the decentralized form of social media. They have, many other use cases. They've got a whole list of projects that they're working on. It's really exciting to see what they're doing. So big shout out to them. I'm super excited for them. She is a little lush. My God.
I don't know where she gets it.
Probably not healthy for a dog her size to drink that much.
What you drinking, dog?
Yeah. What are you drinking, Westwood?
I'll tell you what, I'm drinking some 20-year-old Speyside Scotch.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I had it in the cabinet, and I thought I'm going to bring it out for a cigar. And, once again, haven't had a drop since last Friday, so Friday's my day to, catch up.
Yeah, and you just have a little swig. Just a
little. Yeah, that's just, nice and pure. And I like the finer things once in a while in a plastic cup,
In a plastic. Oh, I love it. That's funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the weather's great where we are today. We're anticipating bad weather this weekend, and today's been just beautiful.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah. And you said you've had great weather there.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful. Yesterday it was low. I mowed yesterday and it was 80. What was it? 82, maybe? 82? 83? 83. It was warm. It's getting a little warm for me, in April. That's a little much. It is, but today was maybe 70, and because it's been overcast a little bit, sun peeking out slightly, but yeah, trying to work on the tan a little bit, get out there and get a little sun, soak up, make that vitamin D.
Yep. That's good for us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the good stuff. I love it. I saw Miss Teen Crypto was on some mainstream media.
Yeah, she was on Fox Business. She's been on there quite a few times. And I think she flew back to New York to go on it live because she's no longer
She
in New
did.
York.
Yeah, she flew into New York.
Yeah,
I just
that's
saw
pretty
that
cool.
Litecoin a big shout out. That was
Yeah,
really
talking about Litecoin. She's going to be at the Litecoin Summit. She was there last year, and she gave probably the best presentation. I mean, she can freewheel. I mean, she's got so much information, she can just speak, you know?
yeah.
And so she's always great to watch. So, yeah, get to the Litecoin Summit. You can watch Miss Teen Crypto and meet her.
Yeah.
It's been nice watching her grow up.
I know. 5
She
years.
started as Miss Teen Crypto in 2017, I think she said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's been 5 years, but no, it's been more than that. My God, it's been
Right.
8 years.
I think she's been like out there for 5 years, but before that, I remember she was getting into it, you know, and trying to learn about it. And
Yeah.
so, of course, you
And
know,
it-
she's got good
Yeah.
DNA behind her, you know.
That's right.
Yeah. She has
Yeah.
a great
Her-
dad, great family.
Her daddy mentored her well
Yeah.
in the Litecoin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, it's great to see the big shout out, and she was definitely putting it out there. I love that, you know, on the mainstream, because a lot of times they don't want to hear about it. You know, they want to talk about that big sun in the sky, that big narrative. You know, the big number go up price, and you know all the money that's going into it. And it's like, you know what? It's going to come a time when utility matters, and privacy and the ability to be public or private, and having the decision to do that is going to be an important thing. Just saying, and Litecoin covers that.
Yeah, I think Litecoin's going to see it today and
Mhm.
going to get a lot more publicity. When
I
it
think it's
happens.
coming quick. I mean, I just got that feeling. I don't know. I feel it.
Well, I think when, you know, the alts actually start to run like things like Theta, which, you know, is just in the toilet right now.
Yeah.
That's
what happens in these cycles.
Yeah, exactly. I think then Litecoin's going to just blow everybody's socks off, you know.
Yeah, I think so. And what can really catapult it, I mean, from the standpoint of, you know, not that I'm for this, but institutionally, right now it's pretty big institutionally, and people don't realize that Grayscale has over 2 million Litecoin that they hold. But with these ETFs set to roll out, you know, which I kind of got a feeling they're going to be rolling out before the summit, which will make for an interesting time. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, Litecoin's market cap is less than 10 billion. I mean, $10 billion? We
Wow.
print that up every couple days. I mean, it's just insane, the utility that it has and the lack of awareness, you know, that, but it just takes time. You know, the truth always comes out. And I mean, there's no doubt that this is sound money for the digital age. That's what it is.
Well, and we're measuring it against a weakening dollar.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, that's going to change so many things too. I mean, once we see the use cases growing and growing, so the, you know, Litecoin's strengthening, it's just, the whole thing is just so upside down right now.
Yeah, it really is. It's a no-brainer. I mean, it really is when you look at the fundamentals. It's like, okay, let's if we're going into a digital age, which we are, and then you say, hey, let me define what makes good digital money. It's like, well, I'd like to have a limited supply. That'd be kind of nice because, you know, that holds a lot of value that way. I'd like it to be proof of work to where it can't be, you know, just created out of nothing. You know, there's something behind it. I would like it to, you know, never be interrupted to where you got like a PC, you got to restart, you know, it just works. Well, you know, Litecoin does that. I'd like to have a little privacy option. Maybe I don't want to be private. Maybe I want to give to a charity and I want to account for it and let the public blockchain take care of it. You know, that way I don't have to keep all these records and stuff. And I can look back and say, look, here it is. I sent it, you know, or maybe I want to send something to somebody and it's like, nobody needs to know what's, you know, anything about it. You got that opt-in, you know, with Litecoin, with Mimblewimble. You know, network's never gone down, scarce supply. The transactions are cheap, less than a penny. You can send $10 million for under a penny. I mean, imagine that. It's just absolutely insane. And you can do it on a Friday night when everything's closed. On the weekend when everything's closed. It's just, and you don't have to verify it like gold or silver. And I love gold and silver, but the thing is, you know, if you're going to be, you know, fluid in this new digital age, which that's the whole thing, you know, to make things efficient and fluid, you want to have something that's not going to cost you a bunch of money to move it. When you see with the Ethereum fees, what happens, with Bitcoin fees, what happens, it just doesn't fulfill the needs of, you know, people like us. You know, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to be, you know, Michael Saylor types. You know, they're on a different planet and they don't care about $1,000 transaction fees at some point. They just don't care. I mean, you know, we need digital money that works. If everything is digital, so we need something, you know, that fulfills all that. And Litecoin does that. And you know, anyway.
Well, and you know, I always found it strange that a lot of coins get so much attention. And they're good coin. I mean, like ADA and Cardano,
Sure.
Cardano,
Right.
ADA. Oh, what's another one? Solana.
It
They
has
all
its purpose.
they have a lot of merit, but
Yeah.
but they have failed. I mean, they have had
Mhm.
glitches, and here Litecoin's never failed.
Never.
They're like the quiet,
It's just like that sleeping giant. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. And it's just like at some point it's going to stand up and everybody's going to be like, whoa, you were there the whole time and I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, pay attention now when you can take cheap Vampire Casino chips, a little bit of your labor, like, at $85, whatever it is right now. I mean, really, that's nothing. You go to dinner, in a Mexican restaurant, it's $85 now. They don't even get a steak. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's crazy, Oh, the sour cream's extra? Come on, man. And that's where we're at, though. I mean, with this inflationary thing, I was thinking today about, what I used to make when I was working at the club, and that was like 1999. And at the time, I thought I was making good money, but I was making $35,000 a year. And, I look at it now and I'm thinking, wait, you can't survive. I mean,
Yeah. I took the grandson to run through Sound Lake after I picked him up from school the other day, and mom was going to be late from class and all this, and she said she didn't have any food in the house at the time for what the boys would want. So I told him, just go ahead and order whatever you want. And so he ordered a burger and a shake, and it was over $30.
Isn't that nuts?
It's nuts.
It is.
It's crazy.
Man.
That's
Yeah. So, I mean, you want to definitely hedge yourself against that. I mean, it's going digital. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's what's happening. And so, I mean, you're going to have digital money, and they're going to try and, use stable coins. I mean, denominate everything in Bitcoin, but they're going to hold all the Bitcoin, and the thing is, if you're a little guy, a little gal in the whole system, listen, I got $5,000 that I can possibly save, like that's it. Okay. So you save it. And then at some point when you need to use it, I mean, if you've got, and Saylor has talked about this to where at some point, and that's what makes it secure because the fees are so high. You know what I mean? That's what they think. But I mean, he said that, $1,000 transaction fee on a Bitcoin is, going to happen. And he's fine with that. And I'm thinking, if I got $5,000 in Bitcoin and I need to make one transaction, I'm going to eat up $1,000 to do that. I mean, that doesn't work for me.
right.
It's
That's
just going to
where
work.
was that there was a tipping thing on Twitter that and somebody had sent me like a Digibyte tip or something. I want to say it was like CoinKit or
Yeah, I think that was it. CoinKit, something like that. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you could tip. And
the amount of gas that it took to get the tip off, I couldn't move it.
yeah,
and
I mean,
so-
like Ethereum, or for instance,
Because
I
it was,
mean,
I think it was Ethereum.
yeah,
to
because
move.
Digibyte's really cheap. I don't think they supported that.
Yeah, it
Maybe
wasn't,
they did,
it wasn't
but yeah,
against
Ethereum, it's like,
anything against Digibyte, but it was the fact that they built it on Ethereum, and so I
Mhm.
couldn't get the Digibyte off.
right.
They built it on Ethereum, and it's those kind of things where it's like, man, you got to build this stuff on the right platform.
I know. But it's easy because the platform's there and you can go create a smart contract. Like right now, we can go out and say, hey, let's create a happy hour token. Boom, done in like 5 minutes, if even that. And then, hey, we got 1 million happy hour tokens, and it's like, but what value is it? You know what I mean? And then you got the gas fee. I was talking to a really good friend yesterday about trying to send a transaction, and $13 just needed to move like $13 worth of some token on Ethereum. It's a $3 fee. I mean, that doesn't work for like real people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and I've seen it like $200 for a transaction fee, when things are running and really moving.
Yeah.
It's just not sustainable, for everyday transactions. And I mean, Litecoin, man, I've seen it get filled up with ordinals, the overflow from Bitcoin, and didn't miss a beat. I mean, just transact me harder, baby. I mean, because that's what it does, throw more at it. And there's just no way. I mean, it's built for this. And it's just, that's why I keep talking about it. It's sound money for the digital age. It's right there waiting for you. I mean, what are you thinking?
Yeah, that kind of equates to, we had a somebody on, I don't know if it was eBay or Etsy, reach out to the store, and they were like, and I guess it was something we picked up early on when we were doing thrifting and whatever, and just started kind of using eBay and Etsy. And so we had like misjudged the box size or something for shipping. And they were like, wow, I really want to buy this like platter or plate or something. And they had bought other items from us. So they knew like typically our shipping wasn't overpriced or whatever.
Yeah.
So they reached out and they were like, I bought these other items from you, but this one thing you're shipping is like way out of whack. And so it's like a gas fee or whatever, shipping fee.
Yeah.
So they're like, your pricing is good. So like your Litecoin price or your whatever, but your gas fee, your shipping fee is like way out of whack. Can you look at this? And like we would have missed a sale had they not reached out to us and told us to like readjust. And so that's where if people are new to crypto, when we talk about a gas fee, it's the fee to move the crypto from one place to another. It's the fuel or the fee. So if you think of it like a shipping fee or a
gasoline in your car. I mean, to make it move, you got to put some gasoline in it. You got to put energy into it, and to make it. And all blockchains are that way. They really do require us. And usually, it's the coin itself. Like Ethereum, it's the coin Ethereum to move the tokens on it. Litecoin, you pay a Litecoin fee to the miners that confirm it and move it through the network. But it's just so minimal on Litecoin for different reasons, because it is merge mined with Dogecoin and other coins. But I mean, it's still, I mean, it is required to move it, to pay the network to continue operating. It's just that Litecoin is much more efficient than all these other ones. It's just built better. That's why I like it.
Someone took it.
No, you're fine. That's why my big old butt's getting on a freaking plane to Vegas, because I feel like, what, I just, I want to continue to feed the community, and I want to, keep that going. And, trust me, Vegas isn't my favorite place. That flying is not my favorite thing to do either, but it's one of those things to where I just feel like, what, I'm here. I want to live my life and do my thing,
There you go.
Support the things that I love,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's where community matters. And that when you say what gives that value, it's the community that gives that value. So
yeah, it really does. People using it, people using it. I mean, really legitimately using it. And that's the thing, a lot of these coins, it's like, oh, it can do these many transactions, in this time and all this. And it's like, okay, well, are they doing it? I mean, are you paying with these coins? I mean, I pay with Litecoin all the time. I send it all the time. Everything I do. It is my bank. Because it's liquid enough to where every exchange supports it, every ATM, every you got debit cards that you can transfer it onto. I mean, it just freaking does everything you need to do. It bridges that gap between the old system and the new system, and it's right there waiting for everything to come over into the digital system. It's just, I mean, it just works.
it's good stuff. Apparently, IAM is celebrating extra hard today. Big win for Dragon Chain, and his beautiful wife wants his phone. So a big shout out to IAM's wife. The other IAM, when his IAM is for IAM, she's the other IAM. So big hello to her. Glad to see that she's joining us.
She is. And
She, the other IAM. So that's kind of fun.
that's pretty cool. It really
Yeah.
is.
We've got a bunch of the fam in here. So
We really do. I mean, it's great to have these Friday nights. I love it. I mean, we've done it for years. I mean, really years at this point. And that's so great that it's so sustainable, and people keep showing up, and especially when I get ranting and listen to my madness. But I guess you're coming back for the lovely Litecoin Lisa and her lovely mother.
that's right. We have a great crew. And you give great information. I
Yeah,
think but even
I'm not the best looking one in the room right now. I'm just saying.
well, we have Kaya here, the lovely Kaya.
Don't
All right, there we go.
like to drink wine.
Yeah, except that mom gives her terrible haircuts. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It was an accident.
Yeah. It's pretty funny, but we have had
Haircut me harder.
yeah, I was like, Mom.
Mitch got a haircut last night. That's why I say that. It's kind of funny.
Oh,
Over
Mitch
here.
got a haircut too. Well, just don't let Mom do it, because
Well, It wasn't entirely my fault.
I was like, my gosh.
She was-
Mitigating circumstances, right?
It was charming.
I said, did you tell her, give her the excuse? It's a Dorothy Hamill haircut. Yeah, sure. Sure, Mom. I was like, I think she's been like secretly giving her like electroshock treatments when we're not here or something. I don't know. Things going on there.
Oh, I feel- your hair will grow back. I ended up shaving the top of her head where she has her mad scientist hair by mistake because she had been squirming, and I was using the little tiny around your face type clippers, and then she was squirming so bad, and then she knocked the bigger clippers off on the floor, and the guard came off. And anyway, I picked them up, put them on the table, and I finished what I do. And so I go pick up the big clippers, and I go whoosh, and it's like, all her hair's
It's like
gone.
when
Now
you
they start squirming and you got to take action. You know, what are you going to do? You know, it's one of those things you just got to jump in there and get something done.
I had to do the other side short.
you shave one eyebrow, you're just committed. You got to shave the
That's
other
right.
eyebrow.
That's it. I mean, you got to go. I mean, you can't be asymmetrical.
So
But it grows fast.
it's crazy. So crazy. When streaming to a profile,
Mhm.
unless it's public. Okay, I don't know. It's sending me some. I did something wrong again. I don't know. It's fine.
You know, I love that, you know, with the I am thing, you know, drinking the 2015 Zen. And it's, you know, I think about that. I've got a couple of cigars in the drawer that Jake brought for the last meetup, and pretty high dollar cigars. I mean, I'm like, dang, that's pretty nice that you brought those. I didn't want to smoke them, you know, because here I am degenerate, you know, at the meetups. And I'm like, I got to really enjoy it. You know what I mean? And so I'm saving it for the right time to where I can really savor it, you know, and just really enjoy it. And they're sitting in there, and I'm just waiting for that Litecoin moment, break out some really good scotch and get a nice cigar. And I don't know.
What is your Litecoin moment?
Leave it.
Do you have a Litecoin moment?
You know, it's tough to say. It's not really about price. It's almost about, you know, awareness, you know, and when you know, that's kind of how I am. I'm the forest for the tree guy, you know. It's not about details. It's about the big picture. And when I see it, I see it. And I don't know when that moment is. I really don't. You know, some people will say, oh, when it breaks the all-time high and goes over 400 and sustains itself and then legs up to 1,000, you know, and then goes to 2,500. And it's like, I don't know. It's, I'll check some boxes, definitely. And I guess when I start checking some boxes, that'll be maybe a couple of moments because it'll fulfill what I've envisioned, you know, for what I'm doing. And that'll be a great moment. And probably, you know, I'll know when I know, I guess is really what it comes down to. It's not $100 Litecoin. I mean, you know, unless, you know, I can buy the stuff I need at 10 cents on the dollar. Well, you know, and that may happen too. So who knows?
I don't know what it's going to look like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Tonight is the happy face moon. Yeah.
Mhm.
Melania Mom and I were just talking about this upstairs. Melania had tweeted around Easter or talked. I don't know if she spoke it or she tweeted. I think she tweeted her truth and said something about, I can't wait to see the smiling faces on Monday. And then we were noticing about the moon phase thing where it's supposed to be, I think it's Saturn and Venus, and then the partial moon
Mhm.
tonight. And then they got on the helicopter to go to the plane to go to Rome today. And she
That's right. They're doing that meeting. That's right. Forgot
yeah,
about that.
she seemed so happy and at ease after being so very like stoic and military, especially this presidency.
Yeah, especially, you know, the full mafia style, you know, gangster style at the inauguration. Wow.
The V for Vendetta at the
Yeah, a lot of themes going on there. Ooh.
the Z at the
And
military
the song, you know, that he was playing multiple times, you know, at the end of the movie, Some of All Fears, and
Some of All Fears.
hunting down all the, you know.
And then now she has
Right.
been so light. She did the
Very
blue,
airy.
Tiffany blue at Easter with the black buttons, and then they brought Peter Cottontail in, and they put the Pope different than all the rest of the popes. They put him over top of Peter, Saint Peter, the Satanist Pope, and with the upside down crosses and all that.
Yeah,
And
that's
now-
crazy seeing that.
Yeah. And now, you know, when on the Q boards, they say that when all this goes down and the arrests start happening and whatever, that POTUS will be safe and like in the plane or whatever.
Doomsday
Yeah, that was
Plan.
one of the first tweets. I mean, in October of what, 2017, I think it was.
Yeah.
One of
And
the very first
I wonder if that's where they're
posts.
going for this weekend, and that there'll be smiles on Monday, because they started arresting judges this weekend. They arrested that one judge for harboring Trendale Waragua with his wife in their home. Then they went into a court and arrested another judge in her court, her district court in Milwaukee, for getting interfering with ICE in her own court. Today, or was it yesterday? Today, I guess.
It was
I think
Friday.
I'd take action too if somebody interfere with my ice, because I like ice in my drinks once in a while.
I like a
Yeah.
little ice.
We'll shake it.
Nice ice, baby. I don't know. It's very interesting to see kind of these things roll out.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's almost like it's kind of a weird thing. We're in this space, this space that needs to be filled, I guess you could say, and pulling all these, themes out of, this greater consciousness, I guess, and putting it into this space. And then we're kind of interpreting it in real time. And it just seems like a very mystical, magical, cosmic time to me. I mean, it really does, to where it's, things are, I don't know, things are floating in somewhere, and where that comes from, I'll leave that up to you to decide. But I think it's definitely coming in.
Yeah. Also, Basent just called for a Bretton Woods 2.0 to go back on the gold standard. We saw earlier this week, Florida calling for gold and silver to be
Legal currency.
Thank you. Legal tender. And then there was this really cool picture of, we'll get into that weird, awkward thing later. Hold on. There were these pictures. I started following this, not the Statue of Liberty. What is it called? The Empire State Building. And there was this one picture where they have the, it's a rainbow.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you see the ones with the rain? Did I send you the ones with the rainbow?
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm
I
talking
did, I
to
did not see that. I know I was over here,
him and Mitch are having a conversation.
I'm multitasking. You know what? I mean,
Tell Mitch to.
everybody wants a piece of Westwood. Okay, everybody wants. I did engage you though. I did engage you on that one. It's my fault. All right, sorry, Lisa.
Champagne Sky. That was
Champagne supernova coming in.
last night. And there's notice the moon getting pierced by the thing. And then there was like the Twin Tower, but that was like I don't know, another one. Where was the one with the rainbow?
It's also very Tartarian in many ways.
The Beholding Eye. And then here's the rainbow one.
Oh wow, no, you didn't send that to me.
I'm the pot of gold.
Wow.
And that was on April 23rd. And I think that's the same time that that Basent was saying, like, calling for the Bretton Woods and all that.
Interesting. Well, because it all ties back into that Wizard of Oz stuff.
Yep.
And that, it was a money allegory. The whole thing was. I mean, it really is. Oz, ounces. You can keep going. You can go forever on that. But it's it's pretty interesting. Like I said, all these symbols kind of coming into the ether, manifesting themselves. Are you paying attention? That's what I'm saying. Are you paying attention?
Well, and speaking of paying attention, and speaking of Oz, which I don't think that's really him, but that's another thing. He just called out. He said, if you think U.S. aid is bad, the corruption, fraud, and abuse and waste that they found in Medicare, Medicaid, like huge, stifles it. And so that's all going to come out as well.
That's not surprising. I mean, that is a huge, it's just a massive, funneling operation. I mean, it really is. I mean, the whole medical industrial complex. I mean, because I see it, just from a layman's standpoint, to where I go in and I always ask, hey, if I pay cash, do I get a discount? And they're like, a lot of times, no. They just don't give you a discount, because unless it's a private practice or a small business, a small medical type deal, because they have contracts with all these big insurance companies, and those are the ones that get the discount. I mean, because they can pick and choose the winners and losers, and they can deny you. And, a lot of times they don't want my money. I was like, I want to give you cash right now for a discount. They won't take it. We'll send you a bill, because they're going to do what they're going to do on the back end.
Right.
And
They can hide the money that way.
yeah, I mean, it's a whole scam. I mean, it really is. And you think of Medicare, how much they're just getting ripped off. I mean, really. And it's just, we know that it's not a legitimate service for what you're paying for. You know what I mean? You go get, your tires changed, or, oil change, whatever it is. You go get a service, from somebody. And, it's like, okay, yeah, hey, put the AC in, and okay, I'll pay you for that. That makes sense. But I mean, you go and, oh, it's a $300 office visit for what? You're in here 5 minutes.
Right.
I mean, and then you go get a scan. Hey, I'm gonna go get my blood drawn. Oh, that's $500. Like, what? There are places that do that. You can get it for under $100. And I'm just like, what? Where's the gap here? Where's that money go? I mean, who's really benefiting from all this stuff? And you wonder why people get gunned down in the street. CEOs of healthcare stuff. Not that I agree with that, but I'm just saying, you wonder where that kind of thing comes from. Because there's a level of frustration that the helplessness that these freaking vampires are running everything, and I'm
all the middlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we got to decentralize. We got to decentralize money, decentralize food, decentralized education, decentralized everything, because the centralization has concentrated so much power that it definitely opens it up for a lot of corruption. I mean, and you have no choice. I mean, what are you going to do about it? That's the only pathway. We have to have different pathways. It's just like, the heart, gets clogged up, and and it creates new pathways, to go around that clog. I mean, that's where we're at. I mean, we got to keep beating, we got to keep functioning and, find different little pathways instead of one big pathway. You don't have to take the interstate. There's a lot of side roads. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a way to get there. There's always a way to get there. And we just have to start looking at alternative ways to get there, because the way that they've laid out and paved for us is, it's, you got tollways, you got all this stuff, you're locked in, you got walls, you can't get off of it. And so let's start thinking outside the interstate, maybe.
Well, and here's another big story today. Pete Hegseth has ended, and this is one. I mean, a lot of people thought that Susan Rice, was the puppet master during and under, that she was like the mastermind under Obama and all that. And then they showed that she actually earned over $50 million during Obama's reign. And so he ended not only her position, but every position, all committee members under the DoD Advisory Committee. And he said he thanked the members for their work and said changes are needed in line with the department's new goal and resources effectively. Like, that's huge. Huge.
Yeah, it really is. Wasn't she the one on the tarmac with Clinton, having the little meeting? Remember that? Was it Susan Rice?
I know who you're talking about, but I don't
know if it was her. I don't know. It might have been. I can't remember.
Likely to be.
What difference at this point does it make? Choose your path. Trust yourself, right? Jeez.
Here's
your
somebody
intuition.
that she might not be a girl. She might be a dude. So I don't know. I have no idea.
Probably a close friend of ours, because,
It might be.
always
I
call
don't
him out.
Not sure.
Who knows what's going on anymore? Everything that's up is down. Everything that's down is up. I remember him saying that. As I smoke a
Obama's
cigar.
team, including Anthony Blinken, Victoria Nuland, Susan Rice, Alexander Vindman, advised Zelensky to reject Trump's deal in violation of the Logan Act. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
you know. Tom says it's a dude. Thank you, Tom.
If you think it's a dude, hit 1. If you think it's not, hit 2.
Ugly girls are in trouble because everybody's gonna think they're a dude.
Road to hell is paved with unbought makeup.
There's some ugly dudes out there. Oh goodness, the world is a crazy place.
Yeah.
But it does seem like there's a lot of things happening.
Embrace the crazy and rechannel it. That's what I'm saying. Take that energy and Play-Doh it and make something out of it.
Gazoo says Lynch was on the plane meeting.
Loretta Lynch, that was the one, I think. Yeah.
Lynch.
Yeah. Loretta Lynch. Yep. That's racist. Black gal with a name like Lynch. Man,
Mm-mm.
what's up with that?
I'm just
The universe has a sense of humor.
Definitely does. No, there's no doubt about that. If you're paying attention, I mean, it writes itself. I mean, it really does. It really does. You know, but if you got your nose down and you're, slaving it out, you're not paying attention. And that's where they want us, though. They don't want us, free thinking and paying attention to all this stuff and all the nuance that the universe puts in front of you. Because it does. I mean, it really does when you're paying attention. Life is funny, very comical. I smile all the time. Walk around just smiling because, I think of all the crazy things that are going on and,
Yep.
it's all right there in front of you.
there's a lot of locker room humor, I have to tell you. I do have a funny, inappropriate thing to play in front of my mother.
Oh, no. You're going to play something inappropriate?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
The awkward and inappropriate moments. Just why not?
You never know, do we?
Just because I can't figure this one part out. There earlier today there was the Oklahoma Highway Patrol was grilling steaks with pictures of bears on them. Then there have been these commercials with like bear skin hoodies, and they talk about these hoodies and they're always soaking wet and whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. I know there's a there about this, and I don't know what it is, and I haven't caught on with this comm yet. And then there's this guy. I also know that weathermen, there's a thing with weather people that they share comms with.
You didn't mean the
What?
Gore climate change hoax.
Yeah, you want to talk about locker room stuff. If you're a weatherman, you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's this. Can you guys see this? Can you see the weather thing? Okay, I'm going to go back. I have to go back. Hold on. You have to listen to this.
It looked better a couple minutes ago because it was open.
Yeah.
Now it's closing.
It has. It's got it's closed
You
in.
can
but
see how the updraft goes up and tilts over to
see
the right.
angle? That's the mesocyclone there. See how this is tilted? The jet stream winds are tilting the mesocyclone. This is the updraft. Downstream, there's the downdraft. And look at the Okay, going tight on this, Justin. Look at the volumetric on that. If you love weather, that picture is nuts. Look inside the mesocyclone. Look, oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a shaft. That's insane.
I almost want to crawl in there. Not really. It's not good.
You can see the bear's cage.
I know.
The bear's cage.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, and look at the meso here. Look at the tilted tube is where the tornado is, right? Like a high that goes in the atmosphere, folks. That's why we see a tornado. It's just not at the base of the cloud, right? It's all the way in here. It's all the way in here.
And there's the velocity data too. I know that looks
Okay.
amazing, but just making sure
Let's
you're
go
seeing
back.
the velocity
Let's
and
go.
how tight it is, David.
Let's go to velocity
with what
data.
we had east of Freedom now.
Okay, so
East
this is nearly
Freedom.
on the ground again. Marty's shot. I see his shot. It's right here. Okay, we're at 100. We're at 120 gate to gate shear, which means we've got 60 one direction toward the radar and 60 moving away from the radar. That's a tornado. It's on the ground. Okay,
And then what we
tornado
got?
on the ground now, northeast of Freedom.
Northeast of Freedom, people. I'm just saying.
I tell you, that's a Cliff High moment right there. Analyze that for me, baby. Analyze me harder. I mean, that kind of language. Jeez. Well, he was dropping
The shaft,
all the stuff.
it's tighter. And then it looked like a woman laying there with her knees up. I was like,
And then she comes in, the lady comes in and comments, and I'm just like, well, I don't even know what she said. I'm just like,
And it's
Then the guy
tighter.
wants to
Yes.
crawl in.
And he wants to crawl in the bear cage. And I was
come
like,
on, man.
is that what boys call that?
I don't know what that even means. I'm just some guy in a cornfield. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm wondering, is that boy
Maybe
locker
we
room
just
talk?
have big imaginations after all we've been through for the last 7 years.
I don't
I mean,
know.
that's it. The universe is it's just crazy. All the shit that
Smoke
gets dropped.
Or anything. And I'm seeing all this. I'm like,
We've
something's
lost our
wrong.
minds.
I just want to climb in there. Yes. Come on, bear cage me harder. Yeah. Come on, guys. Either we've all ascended and we're all- I don't know. You all saw it with me.
I love that you can say it with a straight face. That's why.
Yes, but we're at a higher vibration here.
Yes.
See how happy we
Yeah,
are?
see? Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just everything's. Whew. You're like
Even
Fran. Whoosh.
weather reports have turned into pornography. I don't know
Man, oh man,
what's happening.
crazy.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Or just everything's entertainment, adult entertainment.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Talking about like synchronicity and all the universe giving you little things. Lisa was scrolling through something today and this picture comes up and it says home to harmony.
Yeah.
And guess what? She's going to be
Sure,
next
go.
door and we live on Mount Harmony.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I just, that's not a coincidence.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, it is coinciding, I guess. Things are coming together, but I mean, it's just, I guess it depends on if you're looking at the denotative or the connotative meaning of coincidence. But yeah, it's not an accident. No, it's speaking to you.
I thought so.
The trees talk to me, so whatever.
There you go.
Yeah. I can't remember what else I sent you today, but it was like multiple things like that.
Let me
One.
check. Let me check.
Oh.
Real quick.
Also, there was a Brady Bunch episode
Yes.
at
Marsha.
House of Cards, and they had golden tickets, and it's like, I don't know, Greg and one of the other
Was
little
it Bobby?
brothers,
I think it might have been Bobby.
and it's like I had some little golden tickets, and then it was like building a house of cards.
I know the House of Cards thing. When I saw that, I'm just like, come on.
I know.
And then he drops the Hollywood thing. What was it like? This is Hollywood magic or whatever at the end. And I'm just like,
Yeah, because then he put like a fake one where they're all glued together,
Yeah, he just
on
goes,
the top, and he's like, "Oh, it's Hollywood magic,"
yeah, it's easy. Yeah,
and I was like,
magic of Hollywood.
Okay.
The Hollywood.
Is
What's
it gonna
that
all
used
be
for?
exposed? Yeah, just all the things.
It's all out there, folks. All you got to do is pay attention.
Yeah.
Yep. And live long enough.
But
Man,
doesn't
oh,
it get
man.
fun?
Oh, it's fun. Yeah. I mean, the things don't happen instantly.
Yeah.
Think about my husband collecting silver back in the early 80s or before, maybe in the 70s, because he knew all this was going to happen. But it didn't happen in his lifetime.
But you know what, though? I mean, that's a very salient point to make. Because I mean, we come here with, we come here really, with memory, with, as a spiritual being, whatever, with a lot of, impregnated with, ideas and forces and, attachments and knowledge. And then, here we are in this, and, slugging around. And then, but we, we come with a knowing a lot of times, I think, to where we, just feel like we have to do something. And, with an eternal mind, as opposed to this physical existence. And so it's like, yeah, I know I need to get silver. I don't know why. And it may not be in your lifetime because, you're looking at it from this cosmic level. You know what I mean? And then you're locked into this, but you know how important certain things are and what the real meaning and frequency of those things are.
Yeah. And you
And it spills out of you, and you're just like, I gotta buy silver. I don't know why. I gotta be in Litecoin. I don't know why. It's a frequency, that just resonates with you. And I mean, again, I've been in Litecoin since 2013. You know what I mean? And it's just,
But you might be setting the stage too for
Right, and it might not be my
Yeah.
thing. It might be for other people who have been inspired to understand that, and maybe I've activated them to understand, realize the importance of that and other things.
Or
And
maybe
that's the way you got to look at it.
and not for money. Not
Yeah.
everything is for
No,
money.
it's not. Money's a joke.
or it's the ripples in the pond. It's part of the setting
You
up the
just
new
said it.
system.
Yeah.
Oh well, not that kind of ripple.
Not that kind of.
The big old spiritual battle going on.
I know. Oh Lord, that glass is not gonna make it. Like I'm telling you,
It's tough.
she's rough on glass.
I haven't broken one in a while.
Oh boy. It's like if you ever watch, football games, it's like he hasn't missed a kick in 49 tries, and then he misses it. It's like, oh, there it is.
The kiss of death.
Yep. Put it out there in the universe and look out. It's gonna come back. Just to let you know, you're not in control. Always.
Yes.
But you gotta dance with it. I mean, you gotta engage. Otherwise, life of quiet desperation, not a good thing.
No, for sure. So I have like overtook and rambled over you trying to dump out a bunch of news and
I've been
whatever.
interjecting it. I've been putting it out there.
Wanted to
No,
make
you're
sure.
fine. You're fine. I've got, a very small list of things here. All I did, okay, I do have one thing that, speaking of synchronicities. So today I'm like, you know what? I'm out here kind of getting things organized a little bit. Mitch says, what'd you organize, bro? And
Good
and
friends.
so yeah, I wrote down a few notes, and I was just kind of in my mind mostly, I'm kind of constantly in my head thinking about things. And I thought, you know what? I want to go out and make a video, Miss Teen Crypto, 5 years, and it's just, making connections and, and so I went out and made a video, came in, posted it, and I didn't even realize it. I looked back. I posted it at 3:33. It was 3 minutes and 11 seconds long. And then I'm like, wait, it's going to be 33 days until I fly into the Litecoin Summit. And I'm just like, all these threes and all these, repeating numbers. And I don't know what it means, but, it's just like things line up
Yeah.
as this big old Terminator vehicle, farm vehicle drives down the road there. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, things line up sometimes and things just fit. And when they fit, I mean, they just fit. I mean, it just works. So I don't know. There's magic everywhere.
I think it is though. That's so synchronicities are like just to give you a little pat on the back to say, yes,
Yeah.
you're doing the right
And
thing.
get your attention. you know.
Encouragement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Redirect.
Right.
Pretty much. It's like, yeah, you're on the right path. Just keep
Yeah.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't think that you're not doing something and not impacting things. Just, be yourself, be true to yourself, understand who you are, what you're here for, what your path is, and just put yourself out there and no fear. I mean, no fear. I saw that yesterday when I was at the hospital waiting for, something, and it was, sorry, hitting the microphone. I saw this lady get in the car, her husband pulled up, and helped her out of the wheelchair because she had obviously had, some surgery or something, picked her up, and they both have t-shirts on and tattoos everywhere. And, in the van, they got stickers, they're putting messages out in the universe. And, the back of her shirt, it's just said, have no fear, have no fear. And it's just like, I don't know. It was just something that, always resonates with me, quit living in fear and worrying about things, that things aren't going to work out because there's something bigger and greater happening. And, all these little signs definitely, reinforce that to me. And, have no fear, live without fear. Just be who you are and put yourself out there and it'll all work out. And it just does.
It does. It
It
does.
does.
I wanted to share the link because it's going to end, I think, the end of this month. Because I did the date so that they would be available by the time we met for Westwoods. So if you want to grab a Mighty Red shirt, Team Mighty, I'm going to be putting my order in before the end of the month.
So it ends at the end of this month?
Whoops. Yes.
Okay, I got to do that because I never do it. I always have good intentions. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
I never do it.
Um,
I have to do it.
So I think Kent Hieronymus and Hector Gonzalez have bought shirts so far. Thank you to both of you. I appreciate it. And
I know those guys.
one of those guys. And if you want to go there, you can watch. There's a link to the video, and then they're $25 this year, and they will go to help with the meetup that we're going to do next year, hopefully here in Arkansas. Hopefully we will be here by then, next spring, and it'll help with the location and all the stuff
Nice.
to kind of host it and hold it, and
Yeah.
make it happen. So
Get out there and buy that stuff. I'm going to buy 4, maybe 3, 4, and give one away because, I'll have to get like a 3X, a 2X, and maybe a 1X, so I can look like Johnny Litecoin if I can ever get to that point. Because, the fluctuations going on here. That way. Yeah. On Saturday morning when I'm miserable, I'll put the 3X on, but maybe on happy hour, when I'm doing okay, or after I work out or something, I'll put the 2X on. And if I really want to, I don't know, I can't do the 1X. I can't. Johnny's got me beat. I don't think I can keep up with that. He's just got, there ain't no getting there.
he can wear all the.
Even with a beard, I'm not going to make it.
He has the big beard now.
He does. It's fluffing out, man.
Wow, that
He's
is.
eating breakfast from yesterday for lunch today. Jeez.
I was like, but his fiance really likes it. So
Well,
that's
there's
there's some
something to be
benefits
said about that.
That's right. I said, so go ahead. And so I just shared the link in the description of this video and updated it. So if you guys are looking for that, you can refresh your browser or do it after the video and check that out.
Definitely get those shirts. Get it. I mean, because next week is going to be, we'll be out of May, or we'll be in May. We'll be out of April. So
Yeah, the
get it
29th
done.
is what? Tuesday. So then Wednesday is your last day to get a shirt next week.
Yeah.
and
So
then-
this weekend, get it done.
Get it done. And I appreciate all of that. So thank you guys.
A
One last-
side note, I do have a Team Mighty shirt, a black one that you gave me in Blanco, Texas, and I threw it on, I wore it around, and treasure it.
Back in the days.
Yes, back in the day. 2019. Wow, 2019. You remember that?
Yeah.
Mitch remembers. Yeah,
That was
August. Yeah, we all remember. I mean, we were in April when we went to Blanco, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a good year. I mean, it really was. 2021 was a great year. Yeah, I mean, it's just so many great people. So many, it's the first time I met Nana in person, first time I met Lisa in person, and funny thing is I remember at that beautiful cabin, where they have dogmen running around. I didn't even know that, but now I do. On the West Texas, in the plains and the hill country. But anyway, it was, I remember being up there on that little hill and with the great glass and the views. And I woke up for that, for that meetup in Blanco. It was raining so hard, and I got up early, off the couch, unplugged the CPAP, had a good night's sleep because I left it on for a change, and I the lightning storm. I mean, the big lightning coming down through the windows, this and that. And so I kind of sat around, twiddled my thumbs, and I'm like, are they getting up? Are they going to get up? I was kind of getting concerned. And pretty soon I'm like, man, I don't want to go up there and bother anybody. So I knock on the door. I'm like, hey. And then Lisa, she's ready in like 5 minutes. You'd never know it because she's so beautiful all the time. But it's like boom, boom, bam, boom, done. And then she's ready to go. And then we went to the meetup, and it was rained, and then it stopped, and it was a great meetup. One of the greatest meetups. I mean, it was
a
really-
river running through the
mud.
tent.
Remember
yeah,
that?
that river's running through the ground of the tent.
Gosh, what we had? I think a wheelchair for Papa. But
Yeah,
I think Tammy
we
ended
did.
up having to
We had to
help him.
kind of walk him through because
yeah,
we couldn't get the wheelchair through the.
yeah.
They had like mulch, but it was like
Yeah, it
it
was
was,
a mess.
The
running
water was
through.
running through.
yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. I remember my friend Greg, actually that's, I think in Vegas, I think he's going to come out. He's from Phoenix. He's going to get a room and I'll probably shack up with him. I haven't seen him in a while, but he came to that meetup and he's just like, man, all you people are like, just like a different vibe. because he wasn't involved in crypto or anything. And, he came out and played with Cannon a lot, hung out with him. And then he came to Phoenix, and, when we were there with Amy and Bix, but it was, so I want to see him again, see him in Vegas. But it was, it was just a great energy, a great vibe. And that's what I'm in this game for, because, it really is life-changing. It really is important. The real crypto vibe, the real crypto, OG feel, that the Bitcoiners used to have, and all the videos that you watch. That's what's important, because, it is about freedom. It is about taking responsibility, taking, your energy and putting it in your possession, and sharing it in the way you want to share it, and it's been a great ride. I mean, it absolutely has. And
there's a lot of genuine, authentic people out here want to share that with each other. There's a lot of people that are just in it for the money and the hustle. They're going to move from industry to industry, and they're going to hustle people in whatever industry they're in. And you're going to find that in any industry. Yep. But there are also a lot of very genuine people that are in it for the freedom, and that you'll see that in multiple facets of their life. And you can look at it and you can see that.
There's a reason why I ain't rich.
Right.
But I'm rich beyond measure in different things. Freedom. You know what I mean? Not denominated in what they tell me I need to be rich in, because I don't follow directions. I don't follow orders. You know what I mean? And it's just like those moments,
though, and you're rich.
That's what it's all about.
There's something to be said about satisfaction with what you've done with your life.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to my daughter. We had lunch the other day, and I said, this is where, like, when I talk about the framework of understanding poverty, the chart, and the Ruby Payne's book, and I said, homeless people would make fun of you for how you live your life, because the values that you have, they think you're a sellout. They think you're a sucker
100%.
For going to work every day and paying taxes and living the way you live, and sitting in behind a desk every day, and
stressing out.
And then going to the club, the country club, and bragging about how high your taxes are as a social status,
and being over mortgaged, and they think you're a sucker.
They're right.
They sleep in and they do whatever they want, and they don't answer to anybody and whatever. So it's all about, like, what are your standards? What's your definition of happiness and freedom?
A van down by the river. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
No, not a van down.
Or at least a motor home by the lake in Arkansas. I don't know.
Yeah, but time with my mother, time with people I love. To me, it's freedom, time. What are your values? What do you value? What's your definition of happiness? Because if you ask any parent what they want for their child, they might say success at first. But if you really drill down, why do you say success? Because you want your children to be happy.
Yeah.
What is your
what makes them happy?
Yeah. Find your happiness. What's
right? Exactly. And I've always said that. It's like, go make beautiful art. Go sing. Go just express yourself in any way you can, and don't worry about getting paid, because you're getting paid in vampire casino chips,
right?
And you might not be able to cash them out, and then you live a life of just destitution. You see all these rich people that are so freaking unhappy, and you look. I don't even want to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up. Look at the Kanye West thing this week, and it's just like, all the money and all of this and that, and you got these lovely ladies, and all and it's just like so damaged and so broken. Justin Bieber, so damaged and so broken,
Well, they go off the deep end trying to find that new high or something, because they're so empty.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they're searching for something. They lash out, and I mean, you see it, and it's just, man, you got to be at peace with yourself. That's why I always say you got to look inward. I mean, that you're connected to something so much better and so much greater. And you can be, you see these monks. I mean, you see these, Tibet, and whatever it is, and I don't even have the words for it. But I mean, and then they find inner peace, and they have nothing. They've given it all up. You know,
No
give up everything in the world. They've given it all up, and you know they've connected to back to the source. I mean and they're happy, and they're happy to do it, and it's just wow. Okay.
So not to get everybody ramped up again. However, I did have a huge find this week.
Uh-oh, what's next?
So I shared
Dig
this.
harder, baby. Let's see it.
I shared this on Monday. I didn't get to do a Wednesday show with Skullcap because he bought a car. But then even my husband, who is a little skeptical of my finds, was like super excited about this. I had several fellow finders get really excited about this.
Lisa's like, I'm up here. I'm going to pull you up so you can see what I see.
No, it's not that I'm up.
I don't mean it that way.
I may be down, but when Trump tweeted the he who has the gold makes the rules, I said, oh, new perspective on why Trump uses so much gold in all his decor. He loves to bring the evil out in the light and let people decide. I never knew Hillary's emails on Weir's laptop were called the Golden Files. Did you? So then listen to
very clear violations of the Espionage Act and really no issue about intent, despite President Obama proclaiming otherwise. And of course, you realize the reason that Hillary had to be protected was because he was writing her on that secret server using an alias, which shows that he damn well knew and had approved in advance her use of the secret unsecured server. On top of that, there's the Anthony Weiner laptop, which I don't know if you heard this. I wrote an article about that too. 675,000 Clinton emails when they got Anthony Weiner's laptop in a search warrant because of all his sex perversion issues. It was all the Clinton emails, the Clinton Foundation, her Secretary of State emails, Huma Abedin's emails. Lots of people emailed Huma as a proxy for Hillary, and it included what Comey called the sorry, I must wave my hands more than most people. The golden emails, because they were the BlackBerry backup emails that they were supposedly just looking for everywhere very diligently. Well, guess what they did when they found them on the Weiner laptop? They got a search warrant for things that didn't include the BlackBerry backup emails. So when they told us, when he stood there and said that day, oh, you know, we've reviewed all the emails now, there's nothing there, that was a bald-faced lie. They specifically did not look at the BlackBerry backups, and they didn't look at a fraction of the emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop. So one of the things, if I were the president, I'd do is demand the Anthony Weiner laptop and get it to the most trusted person in the military to take apart everything on it and then start using it.
And of course, now we know the Durham report has come out. Now we know the FBI knew all of that stuff. So all of this stuff is now happening. But that's what I think, that's what he meant, because now that we know the magical printing money machines, they've never needed money to run the government. They don't need our taxes. They don't need money. When you talk about, listen to these military guys, oh yeah, we need hundreds. We always knew we could get as many hundreds, as much money as we needed for whatever operation we were doing. They don't need money. They need blackmail. That's how they've run these governments, is blackmail. They need the golden files. Yep. He who has the gold makes the rules.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, you're 100% right on that. And that's sort of, you know, there's an economic system outside of the money that they present us with that they use, and it's you know, hijacking your energy. And that's why I call them vampires, because that's exactly what they're doing. Because, you know, you think about it, it's like, hey, you know, you're a new Congress person, you know, you go, hey, come to this party, we love you, you're great, you know. And next thing you go to the party, oh, have some drinks, do this. Next thing you know, you haven't done anything, but you got a picture that showed up, you know, with your head next to God knows what in the picture. And guess what? You know, when the time comes to vote the right way, the little manila envelope or the file folder slides over the table, and you're like, shh, okay. Doesn't look good, does it? Even though I didn't do anything, it's just the look is a bad look. And it's all about compromise. It's all about capturing. It's all about hijacking. And that's all they do. They create nothing and they hijack everything. And that's what they do. That's what they do. I mean, that's why you have Microsoft buying up all these things, Amazon buying up all these companies. All the innovation, they buy it up. And they're like, we can't do that. You guys, you have all the innovation at a grassroots level. We'll just buy you. And if you, hey, $1 billion, yeah, sure. I'll go live on an island somewhere. F it, I'm out. And it's like, but you're not out. You're still in it. And that's it until we learn to say, no, I'm worth more than that. And, I don't care. It's like compromise, and that's really what it is. And, they use that against so many good people with good intentions and then destroy them. And then they become what they are now. And I see how it all unfolds. And we just got to at some point say, no, I don't care. Done. Not playing. Exiting the Vampire Casino. The poker chips mean nothing to me.
Yeah. And then that goes, down to these same,
Taryn Manning just spoke out about Hollywood's secret gold juice, and what she said is disturbing. Watch this.
You don't drink the Kool-Aid. You don't drink the gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my 40s.
that? Pete? A lot of golden showers.
The gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. The gold juice. You never offered the gold juice?
No, I'm a scumbag comic. What's the gold juice?
I don't know, but I didn't drink it and I didn't want it. And
Is this in
I
a?
noticed when all the certain girls on Orange changed. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's like a real thing. Like it's all a real thing. And it's scary because they send like people after you and they can like kind of moonlight as like a friend or and they're wolf in sheep's clothing and listen, you can have everything you want, all the fame in the world, all the money. I'm like, what if I just drank it? But then you know what I mean? Like, what if I, and I don't know what it is. If it's a metaphor for the gold juice, like, you feel what I'm.
Some believe gold juice is a coded reference, possibly to youth serums, forbidden rituals, or substances linked to dark elite practices.
probably. I mean, most likely that's the adrenochrome stuff.
Because
I don't
one,
know.
they've got you blackmailed if you do, and then that's supposed
Yeah, it's really symbolic of, participating and volunteering into something that, like an oath in a way. And I guess that's the thing, people just need to break the oath and listen. I mean, it's never too late to just step out and expose the whole thing. But the thing is, you've got to look at yourself and say, all the shame and all the sin, whatever you want to call it, let it go. Let it go. I want to see Congress people come out and just say, you know what? Yeah, I effed up big time. And you know what? I'm exposing it. Yep, I did this, I did that. Be like Jimmy Swaggart, I have sinned, that kind of thing. But it's, I don't know. It's just, I think about if you, a little bit of biblical thing, you think about, Saul, the murderer that became Paul that wrote most of the New Testament. I mean, there's always redemption at some point. There are lessons throughout history to where people can redeem themselves, and to think that you can't do that, think that you can't transform yourself and walk a new path. I mean, that's what we kind of have to start looking at, and forgive yourself, first and foremost that, hey, I kind of effed up. I kind of did some bad things, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be a good person from here on out and do things better, because there are so many things that you can do better for the rest of the existence that you have here.
there might be a lot of them that would be interested in a confession and redemption, but they're also aware of all but about 2 of the detectives, whatever, rank they held, that saw Anthony Weiner's laptop are now dead.
Yeah, and that's what happens, there's that. And that's why it's important to just, because they'll take you out, speak your truth. What do you got to lose? I mean, really, they'll take your life and they don't care. You look at Seth Rich, they'll take you out, and so it's just put it out there, at least at some point, maybe, just like you're talking about silver and Papa buying silver, at some point, someone is going to see that truth. It will happen. And you just have to think that way and operate that way, because it's just so important to do that, I think. Don't live the quiet life of desperation, the life of quiet desperation. I mean, you just have to get over it, you know, because you're not
Yeah.
beyond help.
Definitely getting the truth out there matters. Like this report about Biden giving Catholic charities over $1.4 billion from the government to fund. And then they now are showing that they lost 350,000 children in the process.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, these kind of things needs to
Did
be,
a great job there, Brownie.
you know, yeah,
Yeah,
there
I
needs
know.
accountability. So,
And 3 buildings fell on 9/11, just saying.
right.
By controlled demolition.
Right. That needs to be seen. All those things need to be seen.
Mhm.
People need to know why that Hillary's, Watergate documents were in the Oklahoma City Alfred
Alfred
P.
Murrah building.
building.
Yeah.
You know,
Alfred P. Murrah, I think. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all that stuff, it's they play their games, here on the physical realm, but it really is a spiritual battle, and you have to activate yourself and get out there and be that truth warrior. Whatever baggage you have, burn it away, and put the light out there, because you just have to. What else are you here for? Go back to the cosmic bus stop and say, yeah, I know I took on the challenge and didn't do it. Shoot, guess I'll do it better next time. It's like, oh, it might be 1,000 years from now. Now's the time.
Yeah.
You're here.
We're here to win or learn.
Win or learn, baby. Shout out to Charlie on that one. Win or learn.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I can't wait to see Charlie. I'm telling you, I'm kind of vibing on him a little bit. I'm wanting to see my boy.
Well, we're going to
He'll
be there
soon.
trying to get Nanda to come. We're
I hope you do. I was thinking about it. I didn't bring it up. I don't want to pressure anybody to do anything they don't want to do, but I wish you would come. I got this beautiful artistic work on the wall over here of beautiful Nana. I mean, I look at it every time I come out here, and I'm just like, it'd be so nice. Get on the scooter with me, take a picture.
Well, then
Maybe make a little video. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Have chicks will travel. We might have to
Yeah, there you go.
bring them with us. I don't know.
Have Westwood bring chicks,
There you go.
especially the good-looking ones on my left when I'm looking at it, but right, on the screen. It's a beautiful picture. Somebody snapped the photo there.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Oh man, it's happening. It's all happening. I think we're gonna have a wonderful weekend. We've got the happiness moon tonight.
Yeah, what is it? Saturn and Venus. I don't know what that means. I really don't. Maybe somebody in the spaces can explain it to me, because I'm a little rudimentary on a lot of things. But
Should ask.
I know it all matters, though. You had the big you had the big star in the sky. The wise men followed the star, right? I mean, it's all kind of a cosmic thing. Signs are out there. I just don't know how to interpret them all the time. I need help.
No, she's so sweet. You'll love it. Yeah, you'll love everybody there. They're all so sweet.
Nothing can shock me. I worked with oil and gas men for 30 years.
I can only imagine.
In
You
the-
want to talk about getting rough.
I was in the oil patch,
Yeah, I've been cussing since mom got, when a babysitter came home. I was in 4th grade, and I was cussing out the squirrels or something.
Something
Remember?
like that. Yeah.
And I was cussing out the squirrels, and mom was like, "You're so angry."
You still do that, though. I mean, I go to your house and the squirrels run across the top of the fence, and you just get angry at them.
I do.
You do get angry at squirrels. I don't know. I make my videos and the squirrel, I hit the brakes. Oh, don't hit the squirrel. Lisa, full throttle, baby.
I also kill spiders on
You do kill spiders on the bar right there. Right there.
the thing. Yes. And I love Marky. So it's fine. You're good.
We need to have a video.
You know what? Jesus flipped tables over. There is a place for righteous anger, and my mother
that whip.
is a great writer, and she also has a incredible grasp of the English language.
Mhm.
And she taught me that words have power.
They do.
so
In the
when I
beginning, there was the word, right?
Yes. Yes. And the word was good.
Yes.
And
Think about the root of that, though, the spirit, the breath. I mean, breathing it into existence. I mean, it's a very powerful thing. I mean, it really is. So anyway, go ahead.
and
Sorry.
I learned that, and I was a little person and not a midget, but
Like a
small
gnome?
girl. And I learned that words gave me power. And sometimes I used inappropriate words to get power and get people's attention, maybe in the wrong
You
way.
did too.
Mhm.
But the word is really signifying consciousness and thought because that precedes what manifests in the materium.
You're right. 100% right. Because
So-
sometimes we can't, I mean, that's it. Words are very powerful if used the right way, because sometimes we can't find the right word. We have a thought, we have this, it comes in and we feel it and we try to, in our little bodies, we try to, it's like art, somebody paints great art. And where does that come from? I don't know where it comes from. But the thing is, they put it into existence, like poetry, they write it into existence, they paint it into existence, they make it and they put it out there. It comes from somewhere. And then we see it, and at some level, it helps us to like pull that out and resonate with that. And we can't always give a word to it. It's like, okay, it's beautiful, I love it. It's but it's just like, what is that succinct thing? And if you can tap into that, and that's the whole God language. It's like, can you tap into the bird language? Maybe if you're J.R.R. Tolkien, it's when that frequency of that particular word happens, what does that manifest? You think about creation, boom, there it is. Humans, there's just something to it that we know, but we can't quite quantify and explain, but we get it. There's a knowing there, understanding there. And it's so hard for us to do that, but I don't know. I'm all over the charts.
No, you're good.
I can't get with the word. I don't know what to say.
Can't get with the word.
Just bouncing around. Yeah, right.
No, you're good. I am going to start doing a little, I'm going to talk to you about it first afterward. I have an idea. I'm going to talk to you about it first after this, but I think I'm going to start hosting a little something special for people or offering something. I'll talk to you about it first.
Okay.
And then
As Ross Perot says, I'm all ears.
try something new next week after the show. So you guys stay tuned. Please check out the link in the description if you'd like to get a red Team Mighty shirt. I appreciate your support, and looking forward to the meetup in June. Hopefully Nana will join us. And
Yes, June 20th. Go to clintwestwood.net. Big link at the top, big black and white, old school. Click on that and get all the details and come see us and watch us do a live happy hour in a real bar. Well, this is it's a real bar, but kind of came from my imagination, sprung forth, and this guy helped me quite a bit. He's walking, there he is.
that guy right back.
That guy back there behind the Litecoin sign. Oh, digging it wasn't him, he says. Yeah, well, it was him, and it was Paulie, and it was everybody who has contributed and given their energy to it. So yeah, listen, you can manifest things. I mean, this whole thing is a manifestation out of my brain. So yeah, come see us.
Be a part of it.
Hug.
Uh-oh,
And if you
gotta
want a
go.
big hug from me, I'll give you a big hug. I know you want one from Lisa, but if Nana's there, you're gonna want one from her. Wait in line, I guess.
Bye. Gotta go.
I'll take the overflow.